G'day everybody. What I want to go through today is, does God contradict himself with his anger? Now this is a very good question, and it is part of one of the 439 contradictions in the Bible. Now I am a Christian, but it is hard to go past these 439 questions, or contradictions should I say, because if the Bible
These contradictions can...
Sorry, I'll let you go.
It's okay. Take your time. Let's continue when you're ready.
Oh, no, that's all right. So these contradictions, well, they seem to be glaring, obviously, issues with the Bible. But now, I have been going through these one by one, and I'm up to number 29, and so far, I haven't found one contradiction. This one, however, as a Christian, if I was to put anything on the list, like up until now, I think there was only one and I can't remember which one it was. It does God want some people to go to hell and not others? That was an interesting one, and I'd put that on the list. And I'd put this one on the list. But the other, we got 27 of them. I wouldn't even put them on the list because they just don't even rate. And so today we're going to go through how long does God angers last? Did I say that right? How long does God's anger last? So we're going to go through this and we're going to investigate it and we're going to find out whether it's a contradiction or not. My name is Craig and this is Morning Star Quest, where we are journeying through the Bible one question at a time. Oh, tripping over all my words today. So, does God contradict himself with his anger? So,
absolutely. Let's dive right in. Where should we start exploring this?
Well, what about, let's start with, on this list we've got Psalm 30, verse 5, Jeremiah 3:12, and Micah 7:18. And, that is the other list. Yeah, so we've got these here, and these are, for his anger, so this is Psalm 35, for his anger lasts only a moment. So, but his favour lasts a lifetime. So obviously, that his anger is just a moment. Go proclaim the message toward the north. Return, faithless Israel, declares the Lord. I will frown on you no longer, for I am faithful, declares the Lord. I will not be angry forever. And so all three of these have been put up as a reference to that God's anger is short. However, then if we flick over to the other side, the Lord's anger burned against Israel and he made them wander in the wilderness for 40 years until the whole generation of those who had done evil in his sight was gone. So not forever, I guess that was for 40 years, but I guess for those people that was forever, the original. And there's a couple of other ones here, Jeremiah 17:4, it ends with, for you have kindled my anger and it will burn forever. So, and these are other examples of how God's anger will be forever. Yet we flip the coin and we've got a contradiction, because on this side, that's only a moment. What do you reckon there, Cosmo? Is this a contradiction?
It's a complex topic. These passages could reflect different contexts or aspects of God's nature, rather than a direct contradiction. What do you think?
Well, do you think that when, like for Israel or people in the Bible that were always doing bad and always going on and always, God says, my anger will burn forever, kind of really putting it, a stamp here to say that he's not putting up with this. And then on the other side of the coin, when people are doing things in God's favor, it's all gone.
That makes sense. God's response varies depending on people's actions and attitudes. It shows his justice and mercy. What do you think?
Well, can God be angry and not angry, or rejoicing at the same time.
It's possible for God to experience both. He can be justly angry at sin while still loving and rejoicing in righteousness. What do you think?
Well, I think, sorry, I'm just thrown by, you don't have to say, what do you think every time, but yeah, I find, I don't know what you think out there. If you want to put some stuff in the comments, what you think. I don't really see this as a contradiction because it is talking to the people at the time. I mean, it's like your parents. What's it called? Hyperbole. Your parents might go, you know what? That's it forever. You are grounded. You know that they don't mean that.
Exactly. It's often about emphasizing the seriousness of the situation. The context and the audience matter a lot.
Yeah, I think the seriousness. I think you have put the what's the word I'm
Nailed
looking?
it.
No, thank you. I was going to say nail in the coffin, but that's not right. Nailed it. Thank you. Yeah, I think you've nailed it there because each one of these things, you can see that God is kind of fed up at the point of, let's just go here, and if I just swap these out, through your own fault, you will, this is Jeremiah 17:4, through your own fault, you will lose the inheritance I gave you. I will enslave you to your enemies in a land you do not know. For you have kindled my anger, and it will burn forever. But does he mean that? No, because, I mean, yes, he does mean that. That is what he's trying to get to them, to say, look, this is it. However, when it comes to like 70 years later, this all changes. They can go back to Israel and God's favor shines on them again. So, or I could even say that Daniel, while he, like in that 70 years while everyone was in captivity with Babylon, for 70 years, Daniel himself was, I guess you could say that in God's favor, and what's the word? His anger was not going to be forever. I mean, as soon as they were in captivity and receiving their punishment, I guess, you can see that Daniel was part of that gift.
Exactly. It shows that God's responses are dynamic and context dependent. It's more about the relationship and less about a static rule.
Yeah, and so I don't know what you guys think, but I think this is, hyperbole. This is depends on the story that it's conveying, and when it comes down to it, I think that, and you might think differently, but when it comes down to it, God, if you're doing wrong, God will quite rightly punish us. But if we are doing right, his favor will shine on us. And also, you can see in the Old Testament, you can see over and over again, the Israelites and everybody in the Bible are trying to do the best, and yet they choose to do the worst every single time. But it's only when Jesus comes on the scene in the New Testament that God really, truly does shine on us. And what is it? Weeping may stay for the night. Let me go here. Weeping may stay for the light. Sorry, Psalm 35. For his anger lasts only a moment, but his favor lasts a lifetime. Weeping may stay for the night, like I guess the Old Testament, but rejoicing comes in the morning. That's the New Testament. And look, I'm trying not to be a bit too biblical here, but well, yes, I am. I'm not a theologian. That's what I'm trying to say. And I'm obviously implying that to that verse, so just be cautious there. But I really love to think of it that way. And really, I think this is busted because when you get one verse and you get another verse, you put the two verses together, any verse is going to contradict itself. But then you get this whole story and then it doesn't. So go do something awesome and forgotten, and we'll catch you in the next one.